If you're trying to get your ex back, there is one thing you need to do first, and that's to get you back. In the next 30 seconds, I'm gonna make your life a lot more simple, a lot more clear. It's not complicated. When you feel great, you speak great. When you feel great, you make different decisions. When you feel great, you become the kind of person people want to be and the kind of person people want to be around. But feeling great ain't a concept. It's not an idea. It's a skill. Even more accurately put, it's a conditioning. When you feel great, that is the crux, the fuel, the foundation to make everything come true. That is what shifts your relationships in your favor. But again, feeling great is a skill. It's a conditioning. Well, the only reasons why people go many years or decades without even addressing the core is very simple. Most people confuse times in their life where things are going their way. It's very easy to confuse times in your life where you're in Disney World or on vacation or everything's going your way. Just because you can feel good when things are going your way, that is not a skill. The real question is, can you still feel good when things are not going your way? Because the truth is, when your emotions get the better of you, that's exactly when you say and do things you should not be saying or doing. Contrary to popular belief, sometimes the grass is greener on the other side. So if you really want to change the trajectory of your relationship and really rebuild it from the ashes, you first have to get you back. People respond in accordance to the version of you bring to the table. If you get yourself feeling good, you'll start speaking differently, making different decisions, and you'll actually become the kind of person that people want to fight for. Super simple. Address the emotional core, your relationships and your life will turn around. Are you sick and tired of living an emotional Groundhog Day? Do you want to finally feel like yourself again? Awesome. Great. Let's do it. It is go time. All right, so here's the first step. First step in your resurrection is to attend my 5 shifts to go from pain to power in days. Not weeks, not months, not years, days. So if you look below the video, you'll see a nice, easy link there to go attend my webinar. Again, it's fully free. See the link below? Click it. It'll then take you to a page, just like you see here. Obviously, you're going to claim your spot. You click the link and then put in your name. Simple as that. Book your spot. Within a few minutes, you'll have an opportunity to attend, and I will show you a world you won't believe. But yeah, this is it. This is the first step here. And by the way, after you're done, you'll have an opportunity to book a call with me, not one of my coaches, me personally, okay? So that's it. This is your first step here. Enjoy the webinar and speak to you soon. Bye-bye.
I realized after the course that this is not the first relationship that has ended this way. It's been, but I've always been in a relationship for 5 years, 6 years, 7 years. It's never been like a year. It's been long term, but it always ends the same. So, what my boyfriend told me in the beginning, I'm like a love muffin, told me at the end, you're like a sunburn. It's too much of a good thing. And I felt that after making all the connections after the course and during the course, that I was doing the same thing with every relationship. It was the same. I was, even with my brother, my sister, my mother, my lovers. It was the same exact. I had the same exact approach. It never changed. It was always the same. Just really listening to other people, I'm like, oh my God, we're the same. We have the same feelings, the same problems, the same pain, the same desires, the same approaches, the same wants. You know, we're all the same. No one's different. Nobody is different. We're all.
I'm gonna add something there because it's very important for people to hear this. Everyone, I think there's so many people, and they all think their situation's so complicated, so different, so unique. I'm like, you're not as unique as you think you are. At the end of the day, you can simplify all actions that people take into 2 categories. It's actually pretty simple. Everything people do is either for love or to get away from pain. It's one or the other. And you can define everyone else's actions the same way. As human beings, we're not that complicated, actually, but it all goes into those 2 buckets. Think about it. What, Jackie, what in your life have you not done? What have you not done because is it not true? Everything you've done is because you did it because you believed you would feel better if you had X. True or false?
Always. You always.
Of course. So it's not complicated. Everything that you do, everything everyone else does, either is doing it because they want love, they think it's going to take them towards love, or it's going to take them away from pain. Not complicated. Simple. We are all the same at the end of the day.
Yeah. I mean, it was just amazing how everyone's the same, and then listening to them, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm like that. Oh my God, I do that.
There's another way we're all the same. Would you like me to reemphasize that one way? There's another way we're all the same. We all have a human brain.
Of course.
And guess what? Your human brain, just like your human muscles, if you give it the right stimulus, the right workout, your brain can be reconditioned just like you recondition a muscle.
Definitely.
That is the truth. So therefore, if you utilize your own human biology and give it the right stimulus to give your brain a message to grow, to evolve, brain cells that fire together, if you actually do that, it's true. We all have different potentials, right? From a muscular standpoint, I might not have Arnold Schwarzenegger's genetic potential, but if I give my muscles the right stimulus, it will grow, it will evolve simply because I have human muscles. Your brain actually works in very similar fashion. And we are all the same with that. Our brain can be reconditioned just like a muscle so that when you have a stimulus, a stressor, a life challenge, your ability to reduce that refractory period to get back to feeling how you want to feel can be quicker than you ever can imagine. No different than if you would condition your human muscles so that after you work them out, they repair very quickly. They recover because you're conditioned that way. We are all the same, that we have the ability to condition our brain like you recondition our muscle. The problem is most people don't know how to do that. However, you, Jackie, do. And just to build to this, anyone who understands here, anyone listening, so this is so practical for them, we all have a human brain that can be conditioned a certain way. 99.9% of people listening to this call have not learned how to do that yet. And that is why they're having a hard time. And the difference here is, to most people, it's just a concept for them. Oh, I have a choice. Oh, I can think this way. Yeah, I know you know that, but you haven't trained yourself with the right process to do that. And that's why it's fucking hard.
And it's funny because my specialty at work is brain surgery. I do brain tumors, brain aneurysm. And so, yeah, when I started taking your course, I would ask somebody, one of the surgeons, you know what neuroplasticity is, right? And they're like, yeah, of course. And I'm like, well, I'm involved in the course. And they're like, oh, that's really good, And then it's just the neural pathways that I see them hands-on. I see them in the operating room. And the brain is the same. Everybody's brain.
We all have a human brain. And yes, it might be true. We all have different genetic potentials. That's fair. But that's why I tell people, I don't give a fuck what your background situation is, your challenges, whatever. If I give your brain the right stimulus, the right workout, you will move. And that's the truth. That's why everyone improves in the program. Everyone, 100%. If you do the workout, you get the reward. Yes, some people move faster. That's true. But everyone moves. And in that way, we are all the same. Everyone thinks their situation's so different, so complicated. It's not. You haven't learned how to condition probably your most important muscle to deal with those things in a different way. And when you have that as a conditioning, now you can execute in the way you want to execute. And you can enjoy your life. It's a win-win-win across the board. But it's very important for people to understand their situation and their solution is actually not complicated. The complexity is in the execution. It's having a specific process to do it. But once you got it, it's going to work for everyone.
And it's funny because at first when I was saying the slides, I'm like, what the fuck am I saying? Like, what?
Mm-hmm.
And then it's just, as the days go on, I'm like, what do you mean that you install the hard drive? And what is this?
Hardware. You install the hardware, and then over time that hardware becomes an automatic software program where it becomes easier and easier to fire the next time. Yep.
Yes, and then just one day it just clicks. It just clicks, and I'm like, it's just like a feeling that you felt, and I'm like, oh my God, I feel unbelievable. It's go time. And
that's fucking right.
It's on my mind. It's actually on my mind right before I wake up. It's there. It's just there.
Yep.
All the slides and the ones that I really relate to, they're there, and the ones that I remember. And there's a lot more that I added stuff to, but it's like you wake up easier.
Yep.
I mean,
because you're inspired, you're motivated. But motivation, to anyone listening here, that's not a concept. You're motivated, inspired when you know you have the right strategy. Motivation is a product of knowing you have the right strategy. The people at class that get up who are empowered, impassioned, driven, energized, that's because they know they have the specific tool, game plan, process to get to where they want to go. That's why they get up. That's why they move. That's why they do what they do. And when you have that, you wake up differently than most people. Exactly. But that's not a concept. That's a skill.
Yes. I totally agree.
And you understand now. You're living this skill. So all of a sudden, those tools you have are ingrained at a different level because not only have you have the tool, but you've lived it, you've experienced it. That's what creates that state of being. And that is why it's becoming easier and easier and easier and easier for you to live the way you want to live.
Definitely, and I know it's not over yet. I have a lot more work to do.
Oh, how about this? Not only is it not over, I attest to what I told you at the very beginning here. And by the way, for anyone listening on the call here, I'm here to be your one and done. Like, I don't even offer an advanced program. I mean, I could teach one. I guarantee the first week or two alone will be more advanced than anything you possibly consider. But with that said, that is not my intention. And this will be the gift that keeps giving. You, Jackie, I assure you, as long as you keep doing what I gave you and are patient and allow yourself to be a human being and not be perfect. By the way, what you said is fucking awesome. I mean, because I actually am very clear to people. I tell you all the time. I make sure clients, when they do their video testimonials, I don't want people to think this is some kind of perfectionist thing. You're a human being. You will always be a human being. You will always be potentially vulnerable, at least for a short period of time, to fear, sadness, anger. We're human beings. We are meant to have these kind of emotions. I'm not here to make you into some kind of lobotomized creature. That was never my intention. I enjoy feeling different emotions. I just don't stay there, and neither will you. And that's what this is about. It's not about being perfect. I wake up some mornings and I'm like, oh man, well, I'm not feeling so, I'm feeling like whatever. That's okay. I embrace it because I know I've done this literally tens of thousands of times. I know that if I execute my tool, my result's inevitable. Sometimes they're by 10 o'clock in the morning, sometimes they're by 11. I don't try to put a timetable on it because I know my result is inevitable at some point during the day. And that's real peace. But it's not about perfection. It's about progression. And Jackie or anyone and we're never going to be perfect. That's not what this is about. It's about control. It's about control. It's about consistency. You and I live at a level that and almost anyone would dream about, meaning that we have real ability, consistency to control the way we feel. Doesn't mean things are perfect. Doesn't mean people don't piss us off. Doesn't mean we don't have occasionally a sad moment here and there. Now, just for the record, again, I've been doing this a long time. Jackie, I don't remember the last time I was sad for more than fucking 30 seconds. I mean, that's the truth. I get angry sometimes. That's true. But sadness, I haven't been sad for more than 30 seconds in fucking years. And I've had breakups with people that I thought were like the 1 years ago. I've lost loved ones. I've had everything you possibly think of. I'm just like, and it's not that I don't feel for a second. It's a blip. But what's awesome is even though I felt it for a couple of minutes, I wouldn't fear it because I ingrained with you, this was never about perfection. Perfection is not part of the equation. It's not available to you. But you can, like a professional athlete, like LeBron James, sometimes he's incredible, sometimes he's godly, but he wavers between those, and it's okay. But he's not perfect. That's the analogy here. And that's what this is all about. You're never going to be perfect. You are, for the rest of your life, someone's going to have weak moments. You are someone who's going to have doubt or fear creep in. I do too, but it's okay. It's not an issue because you know 2 minutes is too long. You know the strategy to execute, and you know for a fact, because you've done enough times, if you do what I ask you to do, which is incredibly black and white, so easy, a caveman could do it, you know what the result will eventually be sometime that day. And that's what this is about.
And I'm like, wow, this is amazing. I'm like, this is like, what is it? What is this feeling? I mean, like, what's going on? And then, then the voices that I hear of all the people that were in the tapes and your voice, and it's ingrained. It gets ingrained.
Yep, that's exactly right. That is evidence of what has been ingrained, wired within. How you feel, how you act, how you bounce back, the new dialogue you have running in your head. You've created your own internal script that actually serves you. It's a different world. And what's really awesome is, and just for anyone listening here, it's not just about that conditioning process, that skill that we're ingraining, but what creates a lot of havoc for people is the reality, the truth that they know after all their time with their therapist, their counselor, their fucking YouTube videos, they still don't know from an execution standpoint. If those same situations repeat themselves, they don't know how they're going to avoid that from happening again in the future. But what you have is ingrained at a foundational level via the contract with yourself. If something repeats itself in the future, hey, maybe it works, maybe it doesn't, but for the rest of your life, it will be impossible for the wrong people to waste your time, draw things out, drag their feet. It's like, hey, we're going one way or the other. Either way, I'm fine. I'm accepting your at, show you the respect, but it's okay. We don't have to be a relationship. Or, hey, let's work on whatever. But for the first time in your life, you have nothing to fear from a foundational communication standpoint. And that's what gives the people that graduate peace, because they know, you know what? Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't, but at least I know how I'm going to navigate the waters. And at least I know that it's not going to be some long drawn out of fucking event. The last, who knows? It's going to be, it might be a little challenging, might not be the easiest day, but it'll be done that day. Make sense?
That was the best feeling. It's like I actually first pieced for the first time in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
When it's just all of a sudden I'm laying in my watching a movie and I'm like, I felt peace. I felt peace, and I couldn't even get up to dance because of my surgery. And I had my legs up in the air saying the slides, and I felt good. It's just the peace and happiness that just overwhelmed me because my brain just took over my body. I wasn't autopilot anymore. And I'm like, you need to do something. You can't just go to therapy. You need to do something and change who you are right now. And this is what this program did for me. It changed who I am, and not just in the outside, but in the inside. It just changed my mind. It changed the way of thinking. It changes the way I've been sleeping better. So
Good.
I've been, and I'm very hyper. I'm a New York Latin, gotta go here, gotta go there. This has made me more at peace, where I'm focusing more, and I'm taking the time before. If I can't find my keys, I'm looking for my keys here, and I'm like, no, Jackie, breathe. It's here. They're here. You came in their apartment. They're here. And this is what this helps you in all aspects. So if my loved one, like my girlfriend or a sister, you have to try something that's going to make a difference. You cannot take these pills. You cannot go out and get drunk. You cannot see a therapist if you're not going to fix yourself. The therapist cannot fix yourself. This program fixes you. You're working within yourself. You're fixing yourself. And we're going to a therapist. It's like you want them to fix you. It's not going to work. No one can fix you. You have to fix yourself.
And you have the right person to give you the mechanics to do that, to execute.
The right tools that I obtained in the program.
So like, I'll just kind of close on this here. I always tell people, like, I make it very easy for you. You want to be your best self? Great. You need the best tools. Doesn't that make sense? And how are you going to learn the best tools unless you're actually working directly with somebody who has a proven track record to transfer that skill set from themselves to you? How the hell is that going to work out? You need the best. But if you want to be your best self, you need the best tools. It's not complicated. And if you want to really be able to use the best tools from an execution standpoint, you need to work with somebody who can be a feedback mechanism to teach you how to do it step by step. Otherwise, good luck.
And a therapist doesn't give you any tools.
No, of course not. No tools. Concepts, no tools. No step. And on that note, for anyone here listening to this here, if you're not beyond convinced here, let me just bring you to the common sense corner with this final little bit here that Jackie's alluding to. Is it very simple? Part of the reason why you're stressing right now is because you know deep inside it, with your counselor, your therapy, all your webinars, you know if you repeat the same situation in the future, the same situation repeats itself in some different fashion, you still don't know what to do. Jackie, thank you so much. This is great.
Thank you.
I like it. This is good energy, good, very high energy. This is one of my more high energy calls. I liked it. I enjoyed it. Thank you so much.
I love you so much. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. And this is just the beginning. It is going to be the gift that keeps giving. Just like I said, you got the baseline, and you just have to continue to be patient, because it's like you use a tool, but you have the tool, but you have to continue to give yourself the opportunity to use it in certain situations. And it is those situations, those experiences, that will allow you to emotionalize and connect to it greater. And that you have to be patient, because that can only happen as life happens. That's why you can only move so far, so fast. Not just because you're working in the confines of your human biology, because you can only create, those neural networks so quickly, just like you can only create new muscle fibers so quickly, but you also have to give yourself the opportunity to experience life that creates that emotional connection via progression and experiences. So that's why you just like I always tell you, this is a great ending point here, just be grateful for what is. Be grateful, hey, you know what? The strongest, most emotionally resilient, conditioned version of Jackie that has ever lived, I'm speaking to her right now. That's the truth. Are you perfect? No. You have challenges sometimes? Sure. But the strongest, most resilient, conditioned version of you to ever live, I'm speaking to her. You know that's true. So be grateful for what is, and simply be eager for more, knowing that you have every reason to know, because you're growing every single week, this is only the beginning. And the truth is this, if you continue doing this practice, as you've been taught, and you never stop, you will never, ever reach what you could call a plateau. That will never happen. A challenge is not the same thing as a plateau. A challenge is simply a different opportunity, but that's not a plateau.
I'm
Very
not crying
important.
because I'm sad. I'm crying because I'm overwhelmed.
Oh, that would be sad. Yeah, this is the
No, no,
beginning.
that's
This,
sad.
yeah.
I'm crying because I'm overwhelmed with what happened. Like, wow.
Yeah.
Like, here I am. Like, wow, wow. Like, I don't even know. Like, wow. Like, wow. That's all I have
Yeah.
to say. That's just the tears are coming out. Like, I just want to pull you out and give you a hug and thank you.
Virtual hug. Okay.
Thank you.
You're super welcome. Like I said, it's just the beginning. You're going to continue to do great. Just keep doing what you have. Embrace the challenges. Accept them as the rite of passage, and you'll never stop. You will never ever reach what you would call a plateau. That's impossible. By anyone even thinking there's such a thing, that would be such an insult to your brain. So don't do that. Yeah, a challenge and a plateau are not the same thing. A lot of people confuse the two. A challenge is simply the workout. Doesn't mean doesn't mean something's not working. It just simply means that's the workout that has to happen to get to where you want to go. So yeah, you're great. You're going to continue to do great. We're connected for life. And just keep doing what you're doing. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. All right.
Thank you. And I wish everyone could feel this, go through what I went through.
They can because they're going to watch this video.
Thank you.
You're super welcome.
Besos.
Besos back to you too. Jackie, thank you so much. Really appreciate you. And we'll talk soon, okay?
Okay. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye. Ciao.